Hello again. I will make a really simple model in Blender and take you through the process step by step. So first, I open Blender. I'm going to do this a bit faster than the last one because I well this tutorial is going to be for those who saw my last tutorial, which was just learning some of the functions in Blender. So first I will take the grid back to top view. I'm going to press A twice and delete everything. Then I will add a cube, add mesh cube. And you can see it's pretty small. I think the right size for a lamp. It's what I'm going to make. I'm going to make a real simple lamp, a light fixture, or how you say that. And it will be about 2 times 6 in this grid. So first I'm going to resize this, so it's 2 times 6. So first press S, then press the mouse wheel, and I'm going to drag it till it fits. It's going to be right there. I'm going to press S again. I'm going to drag it to it's almost like around there. Then I'm going to press 1 to take it to side view, and I'm going to move the whole cube because this is the center, and the center will have to be at the top of the light because it's going to be in the roof. And then I will press S and then mouse button 3. It's the same as the mouse wheel to resize this cube so it's around 2 units tall. Something like that. And what I'm going to do now, this is a function I haven't talked about yet. I'm going to press Shift and D at the same time. Doing so duplicates the selected faces and vertex and edges and everything. I'm going to press A, and I'm going to press Ctrl and use the left mouse button and select this part here, and I'm going to make it about 2 units wide as well. And to move around in the grid, you will have to press Shift and use the mouse wheel. What I'm going to do now is making the edge of the light fixture. I'm going to do make it this way because doing so, if it does it this way, it will save some tris, and in Urban Terror, tris count means everything. I'm going to press Shift D again and duplicate it one more time. I'm going to drag it out to the side there so it fits, and I will put this together. It's right there, almost on top of each other. Then I'm going to do something I didn't show in the last tutorial either. I'm going to press Ctrl and use the left mouse button to select these 2 vertex. I'm going to press Alt and M and merge at center. This turns the 2 cubes into one piece. Right there. No, this part is just one part. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side here. Right, so then again, Control and left mouse button, Alt M, merge, press A to unselect, press Shift and third mouse button to move around. Right, there we go. This will be the frame of the light fixture. You'll also go back to the top view. You'll have to add the light itself. So I'm going to add one more cube. I'm going to press G to move the cube around. I'm going to scale this cube so it's as big as I need it to be, around there. I'm going to scale it again so it's as wide as I need it to be, around there. I'm not making things exact when I'm making models, because, well, if I want to make something exact, I will do it in Radiant. There are probably ways to do it exact in Blender, but exact isn't always what looks best. So, here we go. And I'm just going to merge the edges again, as I did before. Press Ctrl and use left mouse button to select the edges, and unselect with A. Press Alt M to merge the vertex and use at center as the option. There's one other way to merge objects. I can show that as well. If you select first one of the vertex with right mouse button and then press Shift and select another one, then you can press Alt and merge, and you can merge at first, last, or at center. I'm going to use at center here because I'm using it on every other place in model. I'm going back here in this view and I'm just going to move this some because I moved the other side. I want it to fit. There we go. Last edge there. There we go. Here's our basic light fixture. But there's one more thing we will have to think about, because in Urban Tarot it's all about faces and tris count. So if we go here, down here, and use the face select mode, we can select the faces that will not be seen by the player. There's a face right inside here that we can just delete. Press delete and then press faces. And there's one more here inside the model that will not be shown. And one here. And there's these two here on the sides. There we go. So we got our basic model right here. What I'm going to do now, first of all I'm going to save it. Light 2. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to split the screen into two pieces. First of all, you need to move the pointer up to the line on top until you see those two arrows pointing from each other. Then you right click and press split areas. Then use left mouse button to confirm. Then you will have to go down to the button down in the left corner and press UV / image editor, and you will get this window. Then you will have to go change the mode from edit mode to face select, you will have to press A because everything is selected. And we'll have to start UV unwrapping this model. There are several ways of doing this. You can mark seams, so the model will do it itself. With this model it doesn't work that well, so we will unwrap it manually. So we're going to select these 4 faces here and unwrap them all together. So we press shift and use right mouse button to select these faces. Then we go into the left window and press E and unwrap it. We can scale it some, so if we press A, so every point in this face is selected, and we just press S to scale it, and we move it up some. Then we'll have to turn the model around and do the same thing here. Unwrap, press A to select, scale to scale it some. Then what I think is clever to do is select these 3 faces, because this will be the frame, and we press select the 3 edges, the 3 faces on the other side as well. Just remember to unselect it so it's grey and not purple. Select these 3 faces as well. Press G to move it around. You can just move it something like this. Press A to unselect it again, and go back to 3D window and press A one more time. Then I want to select these 3 faces, because this will be the lamp parts. Then press E to unwrap it, press A to select it, press R to rotate it, press S to scale it some, press G to move it right there, and then we will have to select the faces that's left of the frame. So something like this, and we get this one. So we have unwrapped the model. So if we go back into the 3D window and press A, we'll see that all our faces are unwrapped. Then what we will have to do is go down here to UVs and save UV face layout, and just save it. I'm just saving it with at the same place as the model. I'm just going to save the model as well. It's a nice routine to remember to save everything. Now we're actually done in Blender for some time. I'm just going to put it down on the taskbar again. I'm going to go to a site called CG Textures to get some textures for this model. This can be done in many ways. I'm just going to use, let's use this this texture for the frame, right? There we go. I'm sorry, the screen recorder is taking all the power from my computer. So what I will do now, I'm going to open GIMP. You can use Photoshop or any program you'd like. I'm using GIMP because that's the program I know, and it's pretty okay really. I'm going to where I saved my model. and this is the UV face layout or the UV map. Going to drag the texture in here. I'm using Firefox. I guess, well, I'm not going to tell you how to use your image editor, so I'm just going to make a texture that works with UV face layout. This is the method I use. There's probably other ways of doing this, probably better ways, but yeah. I'm here to show how to use Blender and not to how to use GIMP. Everything I basically does is get a texture that's sealed, and I'm resizing it because it's way too big as it is, and I'm using Control X and the pattern fill to make it work. And I'm not sure what happened here right now, but there you go. Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I screwed up. There we go. I will have to add a new layer here. There we go. Okay, so I got the UV face and the UV map on top, so I can see where the model goes. This part here is the frame, and this part on top here is the lamp itself. So I'm going to need another texture for that. Let's see if there's some glass texture that could be used. This one looks nice. So I'm just getting the texture into GIMP again. I'm resizing it so it's not too big, and I'm going to add a new layer. Put it under the UV face again. I'm going to select the part where the glass have to be. Then I'm going to fill the glass in. Right. I think the texture is a bit too big at the moment, so I will take it in, and I'm going to resize it again to 1/2 of the size, and I'm going to use the bucket and do it again, fill it again. So there you go, that's okay. Then I'm going to save it as light2.tga, or you can use GPG, and I'm going to export it. There we go, and I've exported it. Now I'm done in GIMP. I'll just close it. I'm done with the browser. Now it's back to Blender. What I have to do now in the UV face in the UV window, you'll have to go to Image, Open, and you will have to find light2.tga, and I'm opening this. Here we go. One thing that is important to note is down here is the materials, the textures. You will have to change this so it fits. So I will have to change it to light 2. You will also see that the name here, cube, is going to change when I change this. Make sure it changes. It's quite important. So we loaded the UV image. Everything should work. If you go back to object mode, nothing happens, and that's because we are still in the solid draw type, but if you go to textured, we'll get this. It's not the most beautiful textures, but if you spend some more time on it, it will look much better. Right, so this is a real simple model made in Blender. So I'll just save again. It's I just like to save, and then I'm going to export it. I'm going to export it to a MG3 format, and I think this was a plugin. Just Google it. Catbits.com got this plugin. If you need a link, just ask and I'll find one. Just remember, it's really important to know how to use Google and how to find tutorials on like everything, because there's tutorials on almost everything, or at least something that's close to what you need, and you can get what you need from the tutorials and use it. So you can understand what you need to understand from them and just use them. Right, so I'm going to export it to MG3. Just get me this. I'm just going to call it light 2 and I export it to MG3. When you press export, it asks for a path for light 2. This path will be models / map objects / I'm going to call this light fix, and it's in the folder models map objects light fix. There will be this MG3 file with the texture, so I'm going to press OK, and the model is exported. Just close it. We can close Blender as well. So here's our model, here's our texture. I am mapping on a folder on my desktop just to make it some simpler, but I'm going to take this into my mapping folders here. I'm going to models, mapped objects, and into folder called light fix, and just add these two files here. Then I'm going to open Radiant and go Mitch, model, map objects, light fix, and import the model here. And as you can see, the model is imported to Radiant. If we add a func info UT-spawn, you can see the size is, well, okay. It's maybe a bit small. I got this measurement as well. Just look for it in the URT forum, and it's there, I promise you. You can see the size is, well, it's okay. It could probably be a bit bigger, but it's okay, I guess. So this is your finished model made in Blender, textured in GIMP. I hope you got something after this video tutorial. If there's anything more you'd like me to cover, please tell me. Have a good night.